At these brothers, man, there's an element of life that once a person understands this, their life will forever be changed, man. I'm not saying you're going to be making quantum leaps overnight, but the way you see life, the way you conduct yourself will automatically change. And that one thing is you have to understand that the world is always listening to us. The world is always listening to us, man. So you have to be aware of what you're telling it. And if you really just think about it, we should have known this, man, because if we're made in the image of God, and in the very beginning of Genesis, he said, hey, God said, let there be light, and the world responded to what was said, and we're made in the image, then that should let us know, man, that, hey, you know what we put out is in other words, the world is responding to us. And I say it all the time, man. I say most people think that, most people wake up every day and, they cut the television on, they listen to the latest gossip, they listen to what the president or whoever said, and they conduct themselves based on that information. When really, when you wake up every single day, it doesn't matter what kind of propaganda is being put out. The world is responding to you. The world is responding to you, man. There's this movie, and I would say this is one of, I won't say my favorite movie, man, but a movie that I loved a lot, but I probably only seen it twice. Old movie. It's called The Forgotten. It's about some kids missing or something like that, right? But I remember this one part in the movie where once people understood what was going on, like they couldn't tell anybody, because if they told somebody, they would get snatched up, right? And I remember there was this one guy, he was getting ready to tell this lady what it was, and she was like close to his ear. And he said, they're listening. And boom, that thing snatched him out. Like you have to understand, that's what the world is doing, man. The world is listening to your every single thought, your every single action, your demeanor, your beliefs, your actions. The world is listening to that, bro. So you gotta understand, like whatever situation you got yourself in. First off, let's start there. Whatever situation you got yourself in, man, you have to understand that you have to own it. Whatever situation you find yourself in, whether it's your money, your health, whatever, all situations, you have to own it and say, you know what? The world has been listening to what I've been telling you. You know what I'm saying? When I wake up every day and I hit that snooze button, that's me telling the world something. When I wake up and instead of making me a fruit smoothie and I go to the donut shop instead every day, the world is responding to me. When I'm treating people, when I'm treating my brother like I would treat myself, and the way I'm treating my brothers is like crap, and now everybody else is treating me a certain way, the world is responding to you, man. The world is giving us exactly what we asked for, man. There's power in just knowing that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said in A Singular Truth, I said the same recipe that got a man in any scenario he can think about is the exact same recipe that can get him out. Actions, thoughts, behaviors. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the way to get out of your scenario. Change what you're telling the world, bro. Change what you're telling the world. And it's like this. And I always say this, man, and I need y'all to hear this. When it comes to us getting out of our scenarios, whether it's, bad job, whatever scenarios, if you're living in an undesirable scenario, all of us know how to get out of that scenario. I say it all the time. All of us fully understand how to get out of that scenario. All of us know that, hey, you know what? It may just be a matter of me learning a new trait. It may just be a matter of me learning one new skill or rubbing elbows with a certain person to get a certain piece of knowledge, to get a certain degree, to get whatever. Like everybody knows the path that they should take to get there. But this is what I'm understanding, man. I'm understanding that, to understand what we're supposed to do, it's easier said than done. It's easier said than done. It's easy to get that journal out and say, hey, you know what? This is what has to be done Monday through Friday. This is what I need to do on the weekend to get to my desired goal. It's easy to get on YouTube and Instagram and all the other social media platforms and say, hey, you know what? This is my new identity. Let me show you one or two workouts. But the challenge is maintaining that, bro. And I'm gonna tell you this, man. One way you can maintain that is becoming aware of your duality. Becoming, and when I say aware, I mean being able to be present in your duality. Meaning, when I say duality, understanding that there is a higher and a lower self associated with you. You know what I'm saying? Understanding that the physical has limitations. Understanding that the physical side of you may see certain things and have doubts. The physical side of you may see a bank account or may see a credit score or may see the lack of a degree and say, you know what, I can't move in a certain way. Understanding that physical side is built like that. But then understand that spiritual side of you, that Christ consciousness side of you, is tied directly to the plug. It's tied directly to the creator, man. One is limited and one is limitless. Not only limitless, but calculated. You have to be aware of that duality and learn to become present in both spaces, if that makes sense. Learn to become present in both spaces, right? I can remember, man, and y'all probably heard me say this 3 or 4 times over the last 5-6 years, but I can remember when I was in the military, I had this drill sergeant Richardson, man. He wasn't about 5'1", right? Meanest somebody I ever met, right? And I used to be running, man, and I would be about to tap out. And drill sergeant get beside me, man, and he would put that hat close to my shoulder. He'd be like, "You're not finna stop today," you know what I mean? And it would give me what I needed to keep going, man. He was like my driving force. Even when I got out the military and I was still trying to stay in shape, I'll be running around the block, man, and in my mind, I still saw drill right beside me, running the whole time, man, for years, right? So when I say being aware of that, when I say being aware of both sides of your duality, you have to be able to reside in this physical body. You have to be able to reside in this physical body, but have that spirit consciousness around you, like a drill sergeant. Maybe not running beside you, but just present around you. Understanding that at all times, there's a version of you that knows exactly what needs to be done that day. Know exactly what needs to be done that day. Because that physical side is going to pull away. For example, today, man, your brother turned 49 years old today. Man, did a lot of things with my mom this morning. My sister, man, my brother-in-law came down today, man. We fellowship, had good food, had good laughs. You know what I'm saying? And your boy was tired. So I laid across the bed for about 5 minutes, and I said, man, it's late. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't post a video this late. But that higher self said, no. We said we're going to do a certain thing. If we say we're going to do a certain thing, we're going to do it. Again, it's just me being aware of that duality. Because a lot of times, what we'll do is just, we'll subdue that spiritual side when we're tired. When we've had a long day. When we've worked 12 hours. Huh? When we ain't had a vacation and I don't know how long. We'll subdue that spiritual side. We still hear the voice, but we'll ignore it. But we have to learn to be present fully in both sides, man, and do what needs to be done. Again, everybody knows what needs to be done. It's just a matter of us doing it, brothers. You know what I'm saying? When we say, hey, you know what? By the end of 2025, I want to have double my income. By the end of 2025, I want to have lost the 20 pounds of weight. I want to have, heal myself of this illness. We know exactly what needs to be done, man, but it's that duality, bro. Being present of that duality, man, is what's going to ensure we get there, man. So again, man, understand that the world is always listening. But the thing is, we have to be aware of what we're commanding of it. Yeah, I'll say it like that. We have to be aware of what we're commanding of it. Because it's listening to us, man. This world is our servant. Again, you wake up every day, man, and you hear Trump or Gorbachev or whoever is in charge make a statement, and your whole world is altered. Your whole world is altered. One man out of 8-point-something billion people on the planet make one decision, and you just lose your mind. You lose your mind. So it's not about really you commanding the world to do a certain thing. Oh yeah, the world is always listening. It's more about your identity. Who am I? Where am I going? That's how you tell the world what to give you, bro. And again, that's based on your actions. That's based on your demeanor. That's based on your thoughts. That's based on the way you treat everybody. That's based on the way you walk in a room. That's based on the way you spend time in silence. The world is listening, bro. What are you going to tell it?